Tariff turnaround Trump. Global markets surging overnight after the president surprised the world by pausing tariffs. Now, it's just a pause for 90 days. U.S. markets are just now opening. So we're watching this. We're about 30 seconds into trading. In fact, this is a look at the big board right now. The market's opening down. So we're going to be digging into exactly why. But tech stocks connected to China and the fact that China still has tariffs, pretty heavy tariffs, could be a reason why. But listen, it's very early in trading. CBS News' Jared Hill is in New York, where rattled investors and a lot of people are worrying about these rising prices, and they're anxious about what is next. Good morning, my friend.
Hey, good morning, Reed. Yeah, that's one of the big questions. What happens next? The futures were showing that U.S. stocks would be down this morning, despite the fact that there was a bit of rebound from Asian as well as European markets. We're learning that this morning, the White House's economic advisor says he'll present a list of trade deal priorities to President Trump later on today after pausing most of those tariffs. The White House says this was all part of a negotiating strategy, but President Trump seems to be making some acknowledgement that market turmoil might have played at least some role. Wednesday's Wall Street rally rippled across the world. This morning, global markets opened much higher after President Trump paused his punishing tariffs for at least 90 days. The decision less than 24 hours after they kicked in.
The bond market right now is beautiful, but yeah, I saw last night where people were getting a little queasy.
Acknowledging investor unease was linked to his decision. The baseline tariff now 10%. The White House says up to 70 countries are pushing for talks, but China is retaliating, upping their tariff on U.S. goods to 84%. President Trump hit back with a 125% tax on Chinese imports.
China continues to retaliate. Other countries didn't retaliate.
Minnesota soybean farmer Bob Worth hopes the trade war ends quickly. He sells most of his crop to China.
Our president will get something done that we'll be very happy with at the end, but it sure is stressful.
While farmers wait to sell, tariffs have prompted some iPhone shoppers to stock up.
I figured I'd get in before the prices went up.
Ahead of yesterday's pause, the European Union announced its own 25% tariff on some U.S. goods starting next week. This morning, they announced a 90-day pause as well. And looking a little bit more deeply into the market this morning, it looks like Apple and Tesla stocks were both down. And that kind of led some of these declines. They both pulled back more than 3%. Meanwhile, today, channels linked the trade war to Hollywood. China saying that there would be decreases in the number of movies they export or that they import into China because of decreasing demand. Important to note here that Chinese market, international market as a whole, really important for Hollywood because that's where a lot of the money gets made back from the cost of those American films.